What is going on, everyone? Welcome back into Abrams Reacts. It's been a while. I apologize for the lack of content. Life has been busy, life has been stressful over these last few months, kind of at a transformation part of my life, phase of my life. Um, so things have been going on. But I wanted to come on here tonight and talk about something very near and dear to my heart. Um, Coming off of just watching my Chicago Bears play in one of the craziest regular season games I've ever seen against the Niners, the emotions are already a little high. And then finding out that my favorite K-pop group and one of my favorite musical groups ever in any genre is dead is something that I didn't expect and something that I don't really want to accept. For those that have followed the channel ever since I really started reacting to K-pop, probably 2 years ago, some of you may know that NewJeans is my favorite group. NewJeans was one of the first groups that really captivated me and brought me into the world of K-pop, right? For those that don't know, I started listening to K-pop in 2023. It's like October, November, end of the year of 2023. I've been playing League of Legends my entire life, and NewJeans released the world's anthem titled Gods that year, and I absolutely adored the song, loved the song, thought it was, arguably the best world's anthem to date. And, I still do believe that, honestly. But, when that came out, I dug into the group a little bit more and the genre a little bit more and started, backtracking to some of the other music that League would make and, kind of jumped back into the world of KDA with Idol and started listening to their music. And that really kind of kicked off my K-pop fandom. It was G Idol at the time, right? And New Jeans. And I just fell in love with New Jeans for many different reasons, right? First, like the individual talent of each member of the group, right? In a musical aspect, right? Their vocal talents, their deliveries, their um, just their performative abilities. I fell in love with the group because of that, and that's not to say that I love many other K-pop groups, right? And they're all very very talented. But to me, you know, maybe my K-pop journey is different compared to others, but like New Jeans is the best in my opinion, and they were really like the first group that I fell in love with. So I really kind of started at the peak, started at the top. And as I dove more into the genre and listened to the groups, you know, none of them really captivated me as much as New Jeans did. And obviously, I fell in love with Le Sserafim and aespa and Idol and groups like that. And they're extremely good, right? Like Le Sserafim is a fantastic group. Islet is a fantastic group, right? And I'm not here to discuss the genre, or the drama between those two groups. I know there's going to be people in the comments, I'm sure, that will, talk trash or whatever. I don't care about that, right? I love both groups. New Jeans was the peak, right? And today, Ador terminated Danielle's contract. And Danielle is my favorite member. She's my favorite idol. And I'm like heartbroken, right? And I get it. I don't necessarily fit into the like typical, K-pop fandom like stereotype. Like I'm a male, which already kind of makes me like a minority, I suppose, in that regard. I'm really big into sports. I'm really big into games and things like that. And I'm like a huge football fan. But my favorite group is Dead. And we've known that this drama has been going on for the last year, year plus, whatever it has been. And I remember when they reached the verdict, whatever it was, 2 or 3 months ago, that they had to stick with the contracts and they had to return to Ador. That was difficult to hear, right? Because yes, I'm not in the building, I'm not in the group, so I don't know. I try to listen and trust both sides, right? As much as I can. Like, I do believe firmly that NewJeans was mistreated. Were they mistreated to the extent that they stated? I don't know that, right? That's not something that I can come out here and confirm, right? I can take their word for it, and Adore obviously has their, statements and their views and whatever. But I take their word as a fan of their work, right? Like, I'm a fan of NewJeans, but I'm a fan of the artists, right? I'm not a fan of Adore. I'm not a fan of their group. I'm a fan of the artists that actually make the entertainment, the videos, the vlogs, the music. I'm a fan of the girls, the artists. And so I take their word for it. And so I do believe that they were mistreated. And I think it's extremely unfair that they had to return back to Adore. Now, one of my closest friends, tries to kind of play devil advocate in this conversation. And he says that, yeah, well, they signed a contract. And that's true. And this is kind of the scary part about contracts. They didn't sign a contract, expecting to be mistreated, to have important things leaked, to have training videos of them leaked, to them live in poor conditions, and so on and so forth. That wasn't part of the contract, right? I understand that they're under the label and that's their job, and they're getting paid and they're getting to travel the world and do these things under the brand. But when they signed the contract, they weren't also signing their names and their lives. It didn't say on the paper, will live in terrible dorms, will get mistreated by employees and, other groups. Whether or not, the eyelet rumors are true or not, I don't know. We're not in the building. I'm not in the building. You're not in the building. We don't know, right? And I don't care about the drama because I like both groups. But we don't know about that. But that's not what they deserved, right? And I'm extremely proud of them for stepping up against this titan of a label. It's a very scary thing when you're under a contract with this multi-million, multi-billion-dollar company, right? But for them to fight so hard, Adore, Hybe, whoever, to get the girls back under their custody, whatever term you want to use, to then terminate Danielle's contract tonight is extremely malicious, in my opinion, and it's extremely disgusting. And that's the unfortunate world that we live in with some of these businesses, right? It's unfortunate that they can do that. It's unfortunate that the girls can't breach their contract whenever they want. They can't end the contract, but the company can choose to end members' contracts whenever they want. That's very unfortunate, and to me, that's very unfair, and that's something that should change. I feel devastated, and this is all my emotions coming out, right? I don't want to get into any legal trouble or anything, right? But to me, as a fan of the group and of the girls, and at one time, I suppose the label, right? To me, it feels malicious. It feels like they're trying to play mind games with the girls. They were going to get back and run it as the original five, and things were going to be better, and we're going to do our best to make sure that the situations and the living environments and the way things, the way the girls are treated, everything is improved. And then that's it. Danielle's gone, and she's my favorite member. And she's my favorite member because I think they're all immensely talented. I really think that she is super talented and I think her personality is just something that's so like I wish more people were like her. You know what I mean? Just so like joyful and bubbly and kind and like uplifting to everyone around her. That's why I was so like attached. Attached is the wrong word because that kind of makes me seem like an incel, and that's not at all like what I'm trying to portray. But like that's why I was so like attracted to her as a member, and I love all the members of the group. But like, yeah, I remember watching Super Shy for the first time because after I listened to Gods, I typed New Jeans on YouTube, and that was in 2023, and that was right after the Super Shy EP came out, and Super Shy was like the first thing that came up, so I listened to it and I watched the music video and like instantly wanted to look more into the members of the groups, but like I really like Danielle's voice, and now she's not a part of New Jeans. And so it's like, okay, as a fan of this group, what happens now, right? Like they're still discussing with Minji, right? And who knows what's going to happen there? And then I guess Hani is like back now, and then obviously they had Hain and Heron already. Like, are they gonna run it as four and replace Danielle with someone else? Like that is stupid. That is dumb. And I understand like the whole 50-50 thing happened, and it's happened with other groups. I get it. But like this is dumb. This is beyond stupid, right? And like I don't know Danielle, I don't know what she wants, but I feel like if I was in her position, obviously I would want to still be in a group with the other four because, I'm sure they feel like siblings together and they're extremely close, but it's got to feel pretty good for her to be free from this toxic environment. It, like scares me as a fan that they can essentially just hostage take the other four if they want. Because New Jeans is Hani, Danielle, Minji, Hain, and Heron. It's the five of them. That's New Jeans, that's it. I don't care if they put in a new member or if they just run it as four. Whatever's coming next is not New Jeans. New Jeans is gone for now, at least. And it's as someone who used their music to get me through stressful times, right? Like I finished college last year. Their music propelled me through very stressful times in my life, finishing all of the final classes and the courses and everything with that, the coursework, stressful. I was still kind of dealing with a breakup when I discovered New Jeans a little bit, and they really helped me through that as well. And it's like this anchor that was in my life, and I could always rely on has been taken away from me. For what? And I know that other people feel that way as well. I know that there's people watching this video where New Jeans' music has helped you significantly through tough times, dark times, stressful moments. And it's taken away from us. Why? The girls don't deserve to be treated that way. I'm sure the people with the label don't want to be dealing with this, right? And us as fans are getting screwed. How is this fair to anybody? Unfortunate. It's an emotional situation, and I have my New Jeans shirt on, and I have my four New Jeans albums over there, physical versions, three of them the Danielle versions, which I'm very very grateful that I have. They're sealed. That I bought in Japan when I was there in April. I just don't get it. I don't get it, honestly. And I see a lot of people online celebrating a lot of Fear Nots, a lot of fans of Islet, and like I'm not super into the K-pop like fandom, right? Like I see Winter getting mistreated by aespa fans and by um BTS fans because of the rumors that her and Jungkook are dating. Like I think there's a lot of mental illness in the K-pop fandom world. Like I'm not gonna go out and riot and like throw a fit or like do crazy shit or send trucks or whatever protest this. Like it's unfortunate. I feel terrible for the girls. I feel terrible for Danielle. It's unfortunate. Again, I don't know everything, but there is a lot of mental illness in the K-pop world that I see every single day. And for the people out there that are laughing at NewJeans and laughing and hating on the girls and saying that they deserve this and they deserve to be mistreated and all of this stuff, I like seek help, honestly. I know that there's going to be people that watch this video that think this is funny and what's happening with the NewJeans members is funny. And you're allowed to have your opinion, you're allowed to feel a certain way, but at the end of the day, these are real people. These are girls that were just trying to live their dream and use their talents to express themselves and to help other people, right? Like NewJeans' music has helped me. Many other K-pop groups' music has helped me. I'm a musician myself, right? I think that the music of K-pop, not all music, but a lot of different groups and artists, is a lot better than what we have here in the West. Instrumentally, vocally, production-wise, mixing. I think K-pop is superior to a lot of the stuff that we have in the West. What I don't like is how these idols and these artists that everyday fans like myself look up to are essentially puppets and they're being controlled by these giant labels. That is unfair. And I'm sure there'll be people in the comments saying, "Yeah, well, this is the risk. They knew this going in. They signed the contract, whatever." And that is a fair argument. Doesn't mean they should be mistreated. They're people. They're humans. I will gladly support Danielle wherever she goes, whatever she does. Would love to see if she starts a solo career. I know she's going to have a ton of fans globally, all around the world, and I will gladly be one of them. If Danielle has no fans, I am dead. So, um, like her sister's work is fantastic too. Maybe now they can release some stuff together. That would be very cool. And we'll see what happens with the rest of the group. But my favorite group is done. At least until 2029 when their contracts are done. And I saw like Ador say that they're going to go after Danielle's family, like a member of her family that they think is responsible for causing this like drama and legal stuff. Like that's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get in legal trouble. I'm just coming out here to share my thoughts as a fan. I don't know. That's where I stand. I love NewJeans. I'm extremely grateful for them. I'm extremely grateful for all five of the members. It's a sad day for the music world. And that's all I got. NewJeans never dies. They won't. Whatever they will be in the future is not what they've been. And, we'll learn as fans to adapt and move on, right? But I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below on the whole situation. Where do you stand? How do you feel about this news coming out tonight? Completely sidelined me. I'm like having a great time watching this insane Bears game. Um, and then I just like open up Twitter to tweet about the game, and then that's just like in my face. It's just like a complete slap across the face. Boom, just mood killer. Unfortunate. Unfortunate to say the least, but that's life, I guess. I appreciate you guys listening. If you made it all the way through, thank you so much for listening to me just ramble. I just wanted to come on here and voice my thoughts and opinions. It's kind of like my own therapy, I guess, kind of just spilling out my thoughts to whoever is willing to listen. So, um, thank you guys so much. If you're new here, check out some of my reactions. I've been meaning to do some reactions. The music world has been dry for the last month or so. So maybe once things pick up again in the new year, I'll start some reaction videos again. I thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate all of your support as always. It was a big year. We gained I think we gained like 150, 200 subscribers this year. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be. I know this is a reaction channel, but I guess I'm reacting to the news of NewJeans. All right. Peace.